name is Kathleen McLean. I'm going to do an opening prayer in my opening prayer for the Orange Shirt Day, but I'm going to pray in Cree. Anu tawinan sawim nananun ka kisikag kasaway matsukugitan skawitagam kisitsikut siminagat kasaway mago ka nagkakagipet kaginta iskulit sway residential tato nagkakagipas pistagit skema ko kaya pitsay et healing ket tentoy tagit magkakasuay mago ka nagkakakin nakatikuha ko kay kutayotsim yung sani ano sa isipag-usay magkukmatsiyo kasuay mo ko kasuay mo ko isyan istumanot kay tagam siya minagagiyaw kay sino akuta kay tsoynitsik saway mi gagiyaw panigi kay tsoynitsik kan mama Orange Shirt Day kung diskayta kay tuan neway in orange maga yung sasi pag-usay moan misache to ang stuto mukmatsiyo kay mutaman I ask in Jesus' name, Amen.
Thank you, Kathleen. I guess to remember the pain and hardship and the tragedies that happened with our First Nations people that were sent to residential schools against the will of their parents, and they lost so much and were so traumatized in many ways, and that is still ongoing.
It's important because to honor the ones that survived and the ones that didn't make it home.
I think it's important to recognize Orange Shirt Day in order to understand our true history and work towards reconciliation together as Treaty People of Saskatchewan.
I think it's important that all communities recognize Orange Shirt Day because every community has children, and I can't imagine what it would have been like for all the children in my community to be rounded up and unwillingly be sent away to a residential school. As a parent, I can't imagine if suddenly one day my children were gone, and the loneliness and desolation I would feel, and the absolute terror of not knowing if my child was coming home.
I believe it is important because it represents unity and it is the first step towards reconciliation.
Well, it's something, when you look back at it, and this residential school thing, it's just something like the Remembrance Day. You remember people that went out and done what for us, and these young people sacrificed a lot of their lives without knowing it. They were put there by the government. They weren't put, and sometimes we forget those things and to deal with that hurt inside, and I think that was part of what that was supposed to be. To remember the kids there was a lot of kids that didn't make it home. They died in that school. And those are the ones we remember. And the suffering you went through, it was hard to go to bed at night and because you hear them footsteps coming. That mother coming to your bed.
I think it's important for communities to recognize Orange Shirt Day because this is an event that has to do with a piece of Canadian history that we need to learn about and understand so we can walk a path of reconciliation together. And when we know better, we do better. And I think it's very important that our communities are aware of the significance of Orange Shirt Day and acknowledge it so that we acknowledge the lives that were lost as well as the survivors who are still with us today.
It's important to me because I am one of the residential school survivors, and I am more fortunate than most in that I learned to deal with the pain of what was done to me at at the residential school over the years because of the different opportunities I had to grow, such as having worked in the addictions field for 16 years and getting all the training that I needed for that field, but more importantly, getting the help through that program that I needed to deal with the issues that arose from the residential school. But there are some things that can never, that are never going to be healed, and one of those is the loss of the language. And with the loss of the language, all that is lost in our First Nations customs, traditions, and spirituality. But what I find the most harmful, I guess, was the segregation of brothers and sisters, and breaking up that family unit. And I personally, in my own family, have never overcome that. I have siblings that I don't speak to at all. They are complete strangers to me. I know other people a lot more and are closer to other people more than I am to my siblings. And that's directly a result of the residential school that all the years that we attended. All of us attended many, many years. Some graduated from La Bretta High School in residential school. I only went up to grade 9, but that was long enough for me.
Orange Shirt Day is important to me because it's a part of like the history, what happened to people in my family, and just like it still impacts my life because it happened to my parents and my grandparents. And
I think because of like the residential schools, like I had a lot of family that took part in residential schools, and I see a lot suffer and a lot of like trauma caused by it and everything. So
why Orange Shirt Day is important to me, because it helps me to have a better education and better knowledge of residential school.
Orange Shirt Day means to me it's like just about how the residential schools were, and it's, you know, very emotional. And you know, I have had family members that went to residential school too, and even my mom and dad too. They went to like I think the last ones or something, but they kind of told me how it was too, and I didn't believe it at first, but I was researching and I was like, holy, that's not something to think about too, but it actually did happen. So yeah, it's very emotional.
The statement "Every Child Matters" means that in recognizing our dark history, we are taking steps together to ensure that the history of the past does not repeat itself. In acknowledging and understanding the truth as Treaty People of Saskatchewan, we reinforce the relationship and intent of our ancestors and the understanding of the handshake that we see on the treaty medals. As long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the river flows, we are all treaty people.
To me, it means that every child does matter because our children are our future.
Well, every child matters in every community. Hallelujah. The whole dominion of Canada, every child matters. We gotta have it. If we didn't have that, why would you have kids? Just throw them out that door and here, I'm done with you. When they're about 5 or 6, I'm finished with. It matters to what they are, who they want to be. And that's the thing that the residential school took away on our people. It was so important to be a parent, how to handle it, that every kid matters, your kid matters. Some of us had to learn. When I first got married, I didn't know. Both my parents were in residential school, but me and my wife, we got married, all of a sudden we had this little boy, Well, we had a hard time. Then he's got to have milk. He's got to have a little bit of grub. So we had to look around. I didn't know there was one. Then another one come along. And when they got sick, we didn't know first thing how to be. So we went to my mom. He had a little bit. And then my granny told us what to do. So it was frustrating.
Well, it says it itself, every child matters. That's, every child matters to me. Well, it says for itself.
Well, there's lots of things you can do throughout the year to keep the Orange Shirt Day message alive. First of all, I would highly recommend to just be curious about your history. Learn something new. There's so much to learn about residential schools, about the Indian Act, about treaties, 60 Scoop. I mean, there's tons of material out there online. There's documentaries, there's Facebook groups. You can find the information anywhere, and something I would recommend is to talk to the elders. You can ask your grandmas and grandpas, ask your kokum and mushums what their childhood was like. They're the knowledge keepers, and they'll know your personal history, which is really interesting. Another thing you can do in the community is to join committees or groups and forward the cause. At the college, I'm a member of the Inclusion Committee, and we make sure that the college is safe and welcoming for all students. And in the community, I'm a member of Reconciliation Nipawin, and our goal is to eliminate racism in the community and to educate everyone on the residential schools and the Truth and Reconciliation calls to action. So sometimes the problem is that people just don't know, and that's why if you take some time to educate yourself and to join a group or talk to your family, you too will become an advocate for anti-racism in your community.
I think to educate people, because not many people know about Orange Shirt Day or know what it represents, and I think that's the best thing we can do is educate them.
I think I would take the initiative of what I've seen here in Tisdale. My first year, last year, of us, they hold hands together in a big field, and I was motivated by that. They showed the strongest commitment they work together.
We need to recognize that Orange Shirt Day isn't just September 30th. It is a movement that needs to be practiced all year long. You need to stand up to racism. When you see racism on Facebook, call people out. It's no longer acceptable. And be an active voice that creates that you are an ally with all First Nations people of Canada.
Keep talking about it, communicating as a community to represent the orange, remind each other, basically just communicating.
I think awareness programs is one of the best way I think we can get to them is the awareness, to make them aware of what goes on.
Well, in my culture, in our Sulu culture, I do the traditional round dance in our First Nation. It's a very sacred ceremony where people come to ask for help for their children, to ask the Creator to grant them their children long life, well-being. It's all about the wellness of the children, the people participating in the community in that round dance. And what I like about the round dance is this, that it is done in a circle. The circle has no beginning and it has no end. And there is no place that is more important than the other. Everyone is equal within that circle. And for me, when I think about a round dance, that's what I think about, equality for everyone, regardless of who they are, or where they've been, or what they've been.
Message behind a round dance is to bring all the people together, not to forget the traditions that we come from, and for us to unite as one again.
The round dance that I've participated in the past a few times, the message to me is that it is a coming together of people from every walk of life, and it is such a powerful, I actually got a little bit of goosebumps just thinking about it actually. It's so powerful to see people come together, you know, kids from every school, our students here at Cumberland College, the police, the teachers, the mayor, town council, like all the people who come together and participate in a round dance. It just really speaks about the power of community and how we have a voice in changing things and making things better for other people as well as ourselves. And it just is such a powerful feeling of connection and let's do better. And I really enjoy that opportunity to participate in the round dance because it makes you feel a part of something.
The round dance is called a friendship dance, and we dance in a circle. Represents the earth, and it's continuing non-stop all the time. And anybody can come into a round dance, doesn't matter what race you are or your age or your gender. Everybody is welcome in a round dance to acknowledge friendship, to visit, and to be there for each other. Okay, so this is the round dance song. Stand over here, bro.